Welcome back to Same Industries Gets Incredibly Rich and Famous and You Can No Longer Relate to Us. Here's a car. That was our awesome sports motor car that we bought.
Yep.
Zipping past there.
Yep.
Hope you're all jealous.
We rented out.
So I had like
even more money.
I had like 15 thoughts while I was there.
On the bog.
Yeah. Where I was kind of thinking to myself, like, you know, one of the many reasons that I stopped watching Game Grumps also comes under the category of like them getting a massive office and like teams and teams of people and just like this whole idea of like going from just a cool little, you know, something you did with your friend like we do right now, just come to my house and let's record some games, to like we have an office and a team of people and only 2 of us are recording, but like there's like 200 people in the background. You know, that's just like way, like I don't know, way too unrelatable for me personally.
It's probably just that's what they have to do. I mean, Game Grumps always had, like when they started, it was Aaron and John would edit the videos.
John and Aaron would edit.
Okay,
they kind of swapped
and then they got Barry on board.
You know, that's basically like us. It was you and I, and then it's Stephanie.
Yeah. So we're special because we have Frank in America.
Yeah.
No one else has a Frank in America.
That is true to an extent, unless of course there are people that work at Game Grumps or whatever that is named Frank, and they live in America because that's where they're based. There are various reasons that I don't like them. I don't watch them these days. Don't like is kind of a strong word, though. I don't know.
It's not your thing at the moment.
I just fell out of it. I mean, I was watching them every day for like 4 or 5 years. So I mean, you know. It's about time that I kind of gave up. But there are things that they do now which I kind of disagree with. Do you notice that they've completely stopped using the grump heads? And they also stopped giving their episodes like numbered titles?
No.
And I know why they're doing both, and it's just because that's in YouTube, or in advertising in general, it's advisable.
Yeah.
With the numbers thing, it's this idea that if you see something, if you're an average consumer, just imagine for once that you're an average fucking person. For once in your goddamn life. You are more likely to watch episode 2 if you've watched episode 1, but less likely to watch episode 2 if you haven't watched episode 1, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you see like episode 35 of a game or like a series, you're going to be like, I don't want to watch 35 episodes just so I can watch this one.
I don't know. There have been times where I've jumped in the middle of...
Sure, but statistically speaking,
yeah.
It's unlikely, right? So what a lot of YouTubers do now is they've completely stopped using numbers, so it seems more inviting for like new people to get into, right? So it's like, oh, you know, this episode's got something crazy happens, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, and I kind of disrespect that. I get it, but I disrespect it. Oh, there's another one here. This is the hard version.
So you'd rather the weak capture on the numbers thing?
I would, yes. Why? Were you like,
Yeah, I was a bit like,
I mean...
I've thought about it a few times, but I don't really think...
I mean, again, this is what I mean by, this guy kicked my ass. That's understandable. He's the harder version. And also, like, they've stopped using the grump heads because, like, having reaction faces in the thumbnails is also apparently more inviting.
It's not inviting to me. It looks weird.
Well, I mean, I'm with you there. But the thing is with you and me, we're also content creators. We actually aren't regular consumers, and we see through this stuff. Yeah. And we're like, you know, like that's a bit weird, or I wouldn't do that, or like we compare it to our own work and things, and like the reason that I would watch a video is like more likely because of the subject matter or who it is, rather than like how pretty the thumbnail is.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just like why our thumbnails are more for like for it being like an artistic piece.
I like our thumbnails a lot. It gives me something to draw, and I think they're eye-catching. Yeah. I think they're unique to us because they are.
Because we put our characters.
But yeah, the fact that Game Grumps was kind of like they've gone to that point, it just feels more and more like corporate and a business rather than just 2 guys hanging out. I'm not a massive fan of that. Anyway, there are many things about Game Grumps that like I don't know upsets me a bit, but that's just because I cared for them so much and still do to an extent. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was just talking about like becoming big on YouTube and stuff. I wanted to know what your like goals on YouTube is, or like your desires. Like, so there's a question that I always wonder, which is like, how many people on YouTube want to be number 1, right? How many people are like, I want to be the number 1 YouTuber, and I'm gonna like try my hardest to get there, right? Because I think like, okay, like someone like the Paul brothers, they're probably trying to get to number 1, but I'm not. I would I think my absolute end game goal is like 1 million subscribers, and that's like crazy off, and like that I'd be like, all right, I'm done at that point. I mean, I'm not done. Like I wouldn't stop making videos, but I'd be like, this is as high as I you know, as I strived for, I suppose. What about you?
I just focus on what I want personally. I don't think I want to be number one, because it's just like that's not how you get to number one.
I don't think a lot of YouTubers do though. That's what I'm saying. I think it's interesting. Okay.
It's just a number ranking, and
it's number one.
it's like who makes the number ranking and stuff like that.
I'm just gonna try and fight this.
Like it's always just like YouTube is not that small that the number to be the number one YouTuber has any kind of massive influence on the way people watch YouTube.
I mean, I don't know, mate.
So like,
I suppose that like
PewDiePie's got 100 million subscribers, and I don't think that there's 100 million. I don't think that
100 million people use YouTube.
No. I don't think, because obviously they do, but I don't think that. I think it just means that there's more people on YouTube than there has ever been.
Right.
So it's more of a reflection on how many people are on YouTube rather than how popular PewDiePie's become.
Right.
And obviously a big part of that was the T-Series thing.
That was a big campaign.
Yeah, like
Subscriber
people
campaign.
PewDiePie.
He was still number one before that.
He sort of made a bit of a joke about it. He was enjoying the idea of joking about it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people put some real money behind it and made big efforts to make sure that people subscribe to PewDiePie. PewDiePie hasn't got like a team behind him or anything like that. He has an editor.
He has. I'm pretty sure he has a couple editors, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's still making the thing from his house.
Yeah.
So he'll film it. He's the ultimate director.
I think that's why he's number one, is because so many people can still find him relatable.
He's still relatable, even though he's like the biggest single person on YouTube.
He also has like a lot of self-awareness. He didn't used to, but now he does. And, that's why I think a lot of people like him.
But someone, another person, a big YouTuber that has recently started to fall out of my favour is Markiplier.
Oh yeah?
So he's been doing a bunch of videos recently where like the titles are about like, I don't know if they're like a character that he created, but like he's got him in the thumbnail and it's got the name of someone I don't know in the title of the video, and that just makes me not want to watch the video, because I'm like, Markiplier's got a lot of people involved with him to make his content.
He also has a massive team of people.
Yeah, and I just don't find him relatable at all.
I don't find him relatable. I don't also watch his content, so I can't really say. But I respect him. I respect that he likes to experiment and like constantly evolve and make different content.
I appreciate that he's doing some really interesting stuff, but I don't watch that really interesting stuff. No. Like that his content is that interesting that Matt Pat would make a game theory on it, or
oh my God,
YouTube theory.
Did he really make a game theory on Markiplier?
Yeah, he did.
Oh God. I don't like the way game theories of fucking YouTubers.
I think it was on film theory actually, maybe not. I don't know, whatever it was.
I mean, like Markiplier, that's why I like it. He does use his like influence and things, and like his budget to like actually make high quality. Not all the time, but he does like he makes these like he makes these like choose your own adventure game things where he like films like a shit ton of things and like you kind of like audience interact thing, and they got really high production value. He had that thing where he made a channel for 1 year and then deleted it. That was a thing recently.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I didn't even know about it until it got deleted.
I saw it like 2 times in the year. I didn't watch any of it. No, I didn't really know what it was.
I don't really like.
I didn't know that Markiplier was part of it, and I didn't care.
No.
And then when they were like, it's over, and they were all sort of.
A lot of people were really emotionally invested in it.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, whatever.
I thought, but like that's what I mean. Like I'm kind of the same. Like I didn't pay attention. I don't watch Markiplier like at all.
Yeah.
But I do respect him. I respect that he's like not just doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Contrastly, I suppose, and I'm not trying to throw shade because I'm sure he does it as well. But Jacksepticeye, I think he's more in the game area than like expanding and doing like, you know, film and short videos and stuff like that. But I'm not quite sure, and I'm not sure if he really cares much for the game thing, because, and maybe it's just like whatever. Like I watched a video of his yesterday, like literally yesterday, which is unusual.
Okay.
This unusual timing, and he did not feel like his heart was in it. For me, like he felt like he was like the jokes were really lame, and like he was just kind of forcing himself, and he like.
The problem is he's made himself. He's created a brand that he has to fit into every time he makes a video.
Yeah, I guess so. And I just felt like this is kind of like unremarkable. Not bad, just like man, it just feels kind of not soulless, but maybe I don't know. I'm sure there's like a lot of Jacksepticeye people who are like, well, you just got him on a bad day, or just completely deny it altogether, and that's fine. You know, I don't. Again, I respect him a lot as well. Like I have no beef with him. But yeah. Another thing I wanted to kind of talk about, just on the topic of do you want to be the #1 YouTuber, was sort of like, would you want things like, this is like out of YouTube, would you want things like a mansion and like a super expensive car and stuff like that?
I wouldn't want them like if somebody just gave them to me, because I wouldn't like. I think I like growing into things. I like getting things because I've earned them and stuff like that. I like deserving things.
Well, yeah, but like, in theoretically, like you would, right?
I'd like a Chevy Camaro or a Ford Mustang or something, like a nice car.
So that's like your goal. You want to get a really nice car.
Like I would get one day, but it wouldn't be like I would get one as like an extra thing. It probably wouldn't be my daily drive. And I'd get a house, and I don't know. I just think I like living a little bit modestly.
Come on.
And I would.
Shit, I'm overcharmed.
I would put. Like if I had
I forget what this
the money
does.
to get
I might not do that.
like a big mansion and stuff like that, I'd probably pour my money into a bigger, like a more long-term investment, like investing in my game design or game development company. That's where the money would go, into securing the business's future.
Right. Well, exactly. I'm the same. See, I'm not interested in ever like getting like a massive house. Even if I was the richest person on earth, I don't think I'd get a very big house, or like I'm not really a car person, so I don't really care.
Well, like,
about that.
I do like this house that we're in. I like that. Like it's got like a small
nice.
tiny baby house next to it.
Yeah.
As part of it, but the rest of it is really big.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a bit too big for me, but I like the aesthetic.
But I think it's just
It's an
because
old house.
it caters to a lot of people. There was like 3 bedrooms on the way. We were just looking out the back window.
Yeah. By the way, this isn't our house that we're in
No.
right now. We're in a friend's house of sorts. It's a long story.
Living, what do they call it? Living within your means.
Yeah, that's
so
what
like
I'm
you make your house for your lifestyle. That's what you. That's what
exactly. Like again, so there are YouTubers in particular. I know I keep talking about them, like family YouTubers who have like. Again, this was in the losing your relatability video. Like Drew Gooden talked about this family, the Ace family. I don't know if you've heard of them. I think they're like
I think I have heard of the idea of them.
the concept of them.
I've heard of Ace and family.
Yes,
in
those
one
words
sentence.
have been put together before. Like Drew Gooden was talking about a series of videos where they were like talking about making their own house.
Yeah.
Their third mansion. Yeah, and they were showing off their massive shoe collection, and like how now at last their home gym is really close to the bedroom, so they don't have to walk all the way downstairs to it anymore. And I just think to myself, I hope that I never get to that point of just being so vain and you know consumed by money and and just like consumerist. I'm not a what's the word, I guess, like a hoarder. I don't care much for consumerism in general. I don't buy knickknacks or things that I don't need.
The only thing that I'm pretty consumeristic a bit about motor racing merchandise. So like every year I buy that year's shirt. I buy a hat or.
Well,
like
would you say that they're
Adidas.
like mementos, or just because I don't know, I gotta buy it?
I do it as like a demonstration of support, and like,
See that's
it's like a financial thing to the team. It's like
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
putting my
that's-
money towards you and saying I really want you guys to do well.
I can totally accept that. That's cool, right?
And then I also do it as a way of like demonstrating my passion on race day and
What-
being
what
like,
I-
I'm wearing all the gear.
I'm talking about like, oh, those are nice shoes. I'm gonna buy them. Oh, like going window
Yeah.
shopping and just buying shit and just being like, oh, I really want something like a big car. Like that's what you care about, and you just constantly buying things. And
Sometimes I'm a bit
you
like
wish
that.
you were rich so you could just buy all the things.
Last year I went to a department store and bought like stuff for Christmas, and I just went and I spent like a heap of money on just like I was like, oh, that looks nice, I'll buy that. And I came home with a bunch of stuff. I got like a scrapbook, not like a scrapbook, but like a writing book
Yeah.
with like a T-Rex on it
I
or
don't
something like that.
I don't
I
think
thought that looked cool because I'm gonna eventually write in that book.
Yeah, well,
Because
and you're gonna get used out of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm really conveying myself properly. I guess like what I'm trying to say is your goal to have money, right?
No.
Is your goal to like be able to buy everything you see that you go,
My goal is to be.
So I don't even do that. I don't look at things and go, like,
my goal is to feel.
video game merchandise, for instance. If I was a kid, I'd eat that shit up. Like, oh, get me all of that, right? These days, I'm like, no thanks.
I
don't have the room.
I think I was with you. I think was it after we went to. I think it was after we saw the Rise of Skywalker. We went
Christmas
to
shopping.
Yeah,
Well, you went Christmas shopping.
I bought a couple of things for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we also like looked in EB games, and then we also went to the place next door, like
Yeah. Oh yeah, Zing.
Zing, and I was visibly disgusted by some of the stuff that was
It's
in
so
those shops.
yeah, I know, and none of it appeals to me at all.
Like, I mean, the thing that I thought was cool, there was like a Game Boy clock or something, and I was like, oh.
By the way, for people who don't know what Zing is, I'm pretty sure it's Australian.
It's a what they call it, pop culture.
It's a pop culture store, and it just has a bunch of shit. Dude, this Christmas, I went in there. You know what I fucking saw?
What?
I shit you not. Minecraft sock advent calendar. So every day.
Oh yeah,
You get
I think
And I thought to
didn't
myself,
somebody do that in like the Jax films? Like
maybe.
he did like a yai on the worst Christmas presents.
He does it every year.
Yeah.
I actually think that's the worst consumerist item I've ever seen in my entire life. Or
Yeah.
pop culture item.
I have
whatever you
enough
call it.
socks now. I don't need more socks.
I don't. I can't.
My work clothes wear out. Like I might have to buy new work pants this year or next year.
That's a bad idea. Yeah.
But my socks wear out, and so I'll have to buy some more at some stage later in the year. The last couple of years, I was like, I've got way too many pairs of black socks. I want some colourful socks. And so that's what I got. I wouldn't mind having like some more colourful t-shirts as well, because a lot of the clothes I wear, I realise are dark. I've got like brown pants, and I've got wearing these like cream pants, and I wear jeans, and I've got black pants as well. I got all sorts of coloured
I
pants.
think where the divide is here is that your dreams are very modest, as opposed to like, I want to go into the store and buy everything and have that ability. That's what I think people dream about when they think about being rich or whatever.
Yeah, what I want to do is I want to see myself succeed in what I want to achieve.
That's my main thing. So to kind of bring it back to what I was talking about earlier, I would definitely I can't imagine myself getting to the point where I'm very so consumerist absorbed and constantly wanting
I can see
wanting
myself.
to buy things.
I can see myself as a creative person getting to the stage where I start making absolute garbage for the sake of money. I can imagine myself doing that.
I don't know about that.
I know I would probably feel terrible for doing it, but I can imagine doing it.
That's not good.
No, but
Oh
like,
my god.
but also like getting to the point where you make something and it's so half-assed and shit, and you still release it.
Yeah.
I can imagine myself doing something like that.
I can't.
But you know, in the 1,000 years' time when Hurricane 18 comes out.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This is what I was talking about. So, like, my stepmother asked me, like, last year or something. I think I've maybe said this before, but she asked me. We were talking about winning the lottery, and they were talking about how, like, because my dad and my stepmother are already retired.
Yeah.
But they were talking about how, like, give it to the kids or whatever.
Mm.
And they asked me what I would do, and I said, oh, you know, I'd get my own little place, and I'd probably use it to fund my projects.
Mm.
And she looked at me with like a confused face and was like, you wouldn't retire? I'm like, no, what? I don't ever want to retire. I want to keep making stuff forever.
I've got a mate who's 68 years old, and he doesn't want to stop doing stuff.
No.
Like he's only like getting to the end of his degree now. He's lived a whole life where he's like worked in pubs. He's done all sorts of stuff.
Mm.
He's not gonna like slow down and retire. You'd be bored, and
I
then like within 10 years you're dead.
I want to work until I'm dead. Yeah.
Like as part of what kills you is your lack of challenge, your lack of desire to do things.
I suppose. I want to be like Terry Pratchett, right? So I was talking about him earlier, but basically Terry Pratchett, he got like Alzheimer's at the end,
Mm-hmm.
which you know, you can imagine having Alzheimer's and trying to write a book series is kind of crazy to do. But he kept writing through all that, all the way up to the point that he died.
Oh.
He just kept writing because he loved it. And
Mm.
that's me right there. If I won the lottery or if I became extremely rich and famous, I'd keep making shit, man. Not because of the money or anything like that, because it's what I do, it's what I am. So I'm passionate about it. And I just wondered if you were the same, and it sounds like you probably are.
Yeah, probably. I think I'd find a way to get around my illness or whatever, or like
Your
whatever,
illness.
like physical struggle, whatever it is. I'd find a way to not have to bother that too much.
I'm not. The hypothetical isn't that you have an illness.
Okay.
It's that you are like you have money,
Yeah.
right, and you can retire. Like,
Yeah.
would you creating? Like,
No,
are you in this?
I'd keep creating so that I could die proud of myself. I think that's probably what I would do.
I've noticed that on YouTube, and I've realized that the kind of people that I love the most on YouTube are definitely the people who do it because they enjoy it.
Yeah.
I get that big vibe from Nitro Rad.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch him.
You've shown me a couple of videos.
I love Nitro Rad. He's so good. And I'm dead. No, I'm not. Okay, good. But he had this big speech at the end of the year how he's like, man, like people are saying that they don't watch my videos and the numbers aren't doing too great for some of them, but man, I don't care. I want to talk about these games, so I'm gonna talk about the Jimmy Neutron's games next. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
Just like
You do that. He's not doing it. It is his job, but he's doing it because he loves it, and I respect that so goddamn much. And I understand it's sort of like so what does that mean? You hate everyone who's doing it for a living? I'm like, no, but in my opinion, YouTube is the best job in the world, right? It's got to be. Or like one of those, because you get to create whatever you want. The second you start doing it because you have to, like, well, then all the fun's gone, right? And that's a huge topic that I don't think we can really get into right now, because I'm very busy trying to dive this guy a million times. I don't even know if I'm close, by the way. The thing is, like, there's this idea that power corrupts, but not corrupts, but power instead shows who you truly are on the inside. And I don't know, man. I think that truly on the inside, I'm just a creative. I've said it. It's both ways for me. If I was rich, I would use my money to fund my projects.
Yeah.
If I was poor and I had no money, I would still be scratching doodles down on the sidewalk with my fucking nails if I had to, right?
Yeah.
And then my mum, I said that to mum, and she said, "At least use a stick." I was like, "Yeah." But that's just that's who I am at my core. Is I'm a creative, and I gotta create. I'm not happy if I'm not creating. I'm dead. No, I'm not. I'm dead. No, I'm not. And I'm dead now. Okay, there we go.
I see like rich people not so much rich people, like people get older and they've got good money and they're like smart business people getting into supercars, and that's what I feel like money does. Money gives you the opportunity to do the things that cost a lot of money that you'd always wanted to do.
Sure.
And money also gives you a platform to be noticed and to be able to make a stand for things that you think are important and be able to voice your opinions in a way that's public and will get things like you. With money comes power, and so I'm attracted to having power.
Oh, so you think that you might be corruptible?
But more, what I mean is that by power I mean the chance to say things like cool bullshit during an election or something like that, and
Jesus, it's pretty intense right off the bat.
have a play Be able to, I guess, make a stronger stand for what you believe in.
You
And
can
I
still
think
do
that's
that.
what I think. Yeah, well, you can try that and try and go viral doing
So
it.
you're saying that like what you want is a voice.
Yeah, and I think that you have the voice by having the money, and the money will probably come as a result of whatever you do that is successful, and like maybe you have some sort of successful business, or I don't know, you go through some sort of celebrity type roller coaster and get a lot of attention and write a book or something.
I'm really not like that, man. I don't think I like to think at least that I'd be the exact same person if I got rich. And I'm sure that like if God forbid that actually does happen.
Well,
people call me out on it.
What I've found with like since I started working is that I've got more money, but I've got more responsibilities. So like it's like I've bought my car, so now I've got to worry about registration, insurance for all this stuff, and then I'm also saving up. So it's like it still feels like an uphill battle.
Yeah.
And so until I'm in, but I also like I find a way to like I can buy the things that I want to do. Like I didn't used to be able to just buy a movie and watch it if I wanted to watch a movie, and I couldn't access it otherwise. So like, oh, that movie's not on Netflix, I'll just buy it on YouTube, or I'll rent it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for a bit. I watched She's All That. I watched Not Another Teen Movie. I watched a movie called
I'm noticing a trend.
and so I did that for a while, and then I think I spent too much money over the Christmas New Year's break, and now I'm like, oh, I don't really want to be spending a lot of money at the moment. Like I'll still yeah. Even though I'm pretty sure my bank balance is the same as it would have been otherwise, I just feel slightly uncomfortable with spending much money at the moment.
Right.
What I've learned about having more money is that you start to buy the things that you want.
See,
the
I
big
don't.
things like a house or a car or something,
Oh well, yeah.
and then it's a bit more expensive. And you're like, and then like by owning a car, you're like, oh, the car's got problems. I think I want like a new car, and then
I don't think like that. Just constantly thinking about getting new things. So I'm getting agitated now, man. This is really annoying. I'm talking in this goofy voice just to hide my extreme anger. Because I'm just like that,
That's
dude.
because he's the enraged guardian. You're getting enraged.
I am getting enraged. It takes a lot to get me legitimately angry. I don't think I've ever been actually angry on this show. I've been frustrated for sure,
Yeah.
but actually angry. Man. I find it really hard to get really angry, but that's just the person I am.
The angriest that I ever get is not so much angry, but like a pent up frustration that I don't feel like I can actually take out on anything until it gets too much, and then I like scream loudly at work. Like I fuck something up I fucked something up because I wasn't thinking I should have asked someone for help or something. And then I scream at the top of my lungs. Then I go and say, hey, someone come help me with this, I'll just dumped it up. And then after I've screamed, I don't have the energy to actually to yell or be angry about anything for a while, like for the rest of the day. I'm like, I did my scream, I'm not interested in
I'm not interested in screaming.
putting up a fight for anything. But it's just like a coping mechanism, you're like...
Yeah, it's just to help get the anger out. I get it. I mean, I don't really get it. I get it in concept. I'm just not a naturally angry person. And that's not like I'm better than anyone. It's more of just like I'm just, I don't know, just built different. I guess. That's an NL bit. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just built different. I'm definitely the exception, not the rule, is what I mean. I also don't think I can scream. I legitimately don't think I'm capable of it.
Yeah.
I can speak pretty loudly when we're recording like this. Most of the time I talk pretty silently, and just the idea of like yelling already just kind of makes my lungs hurt. And I literally don't feel capable of screaming loudly.
Well, I'm pretty good at projecting my voice a bit more because I work in a loud factory. So I was like, I saw Ben at the shops.
And you screamed at him.
And I was like, Ben! And he was like, whoa, where the fuck did that come from? So I'm not as quiet as I used to be, but I'm also still pretty quiet. Sometimes like at home I'm quiet.
Yeah. I mean, like during
like,
a.
I'm quiet at home, quiet at the shops. But like, I've learned how to be loud. I learned how to be loud at uni as well because you'd be in like a huge room with other people, and they're like, "Okay, Mabini, you stuck up your hand. What do you have to say?" So I gotta fucking put on a loud voice, make sure everyone can hear it.
I need to go to the bathroom.
I just shat myself.
I did it! Oh my god.
Ah.
Jesus. Got a health upgrade for it. Well, half of one, quarter of one.
Yeah.
Alright, that's it. That's the episode. We went for 40 fucking minutes. Jesus Christ. Goodbye.